You know that feeling, right? You work your tail off. You hit your targets. You might even be the most skilled person on your team. But you'll look around, and somehow other people are getting ahead while you're just stuck. It's like you're doing everything right, but you've become completely invisible. So let me ask you this. What if all that hard work was never really the point? What if the whole game was about something else entirely? Not how good you are, but how manageable you are. This one question, it kind of flips everything we think we know about getting ahead. Okay, let's break this down. Over on the left, you've got the person everyone says they want to hire, the innovator, the high performer, the one who challenges the status quo. But on the right, that's who often gets the promotion, the predictable one, the low-friction employee. Why? Well, it's because big corporate systems are built for stability, not for fairness. They'd rather have a smooth, predictable ride than a brilliant, bumpy one. In this world, easy to manage beats excellent almost every single time. So behind every single promotion, there are these hidden filters at play. It's never just about your performance. Managers are subconsciously or consciously evaluating your behavior. Can they guess how you'll react in a crisis? Are you going to push back on their ideas? Are you, compatible with their way of doing things? The more controllable you seem, the safer you are to promote. It's that simple. Right, so if predictability is the system's core logic, then emotional manipulation is one of its favorite tools. And it almost always starts with a phrase that sounds so warm and fuzzy. Ah, there it is. We're a family here. You've heard this one, haven't you? It sounds great. It sounds supportive and like everyone has your back. But the second a boss drops this line, the actual rules of your job start to bend, even if your contract stays the same. See that word, family? It's not a description. It's a swap. It's a trick designed to trade the clear professional boundaries of your job for the messy, undefined emotional duties of a family. All of a sudden, saying no to working on a Saturday isn't just about your schedule. It's twisted into a question of your loyalty. And this is the transaction at the heart of it all. The company gives you symbolic things: pizza parties, a feeling of belonging, a sense that you're all in this together. And what do you give in return? Real sacrifice. We're talking unpaid overtime, your personal boundaries getting steamrolled, and staying quiet when you really should be speaking up. And here's the absolute brutal irony of it all. The people who buy into the family idea the most, they aren't protected. Their loyalty is harvested. Their willingness to take on extra work isn't seen as a sacrifice that needs to be rewarded. It's seen as a resource to be squeezed until there's nothing left. Okay, so you've got a system that values control above all else, and it's armed with this emotional family tool to get more out of you. But what happens when they decide you're no longer a good fit? Well, they don't even have to fire you. They just have to make you want to leave. There's a legal term for this, and it's called constructive dismissal, but you probably know it as quiet firing. The entire goal is to change your job conditions so much, so drastically, that you quitting becomes the easiest path for everyone involved. And when you finally do walk out, the official record just says you left voluntarily. Clean for them, messy for you. And here's how they do it. It's never one big, dramatic event. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts. Suddenly, your bonus structure gets reevaluated. The projects you used to own are now given to someone else. The way your boss talks to you, and only you, gets a little colder. And any complaint you make, it just vanishes into a bureaucratic black hole. And here's the genius of it, and why it's so hard to fight. Every single one of these actions has a perfectly reasonable business justification. A schedule change? Oh, that's just for operational efficiency. You lost a project? That's just part of a strategic pivot. Taken one by one, each action is defendable. But when you add them all up, they spell out your exit, and the company never had to write a single word of it. But it goes even deeper than that. The most sophisticated toxic managers, they don't even have to do all the dirty work themselves. They built an entire system that outsources the pressure to the whole office. So you have to realize, you're not just dealing with one bad person. You're dealing with an entire social arrangement. A whole network of people who, knowingly or not, help enforce the boss's version of reality. They become the messengers, so the boss's hands stay clean. And triangulation is the key tactic here. Instead of managing you directly, the boss manages how everyone else sees you. They'll go to your coworker and express disappointment in your work. They'll go to a senior leader and voice concern for your performance. To your direct report, they're just confused by your choices. They plant these little seeds everywhere.
This creates a completely disorienting reality for you. You walk into a meeting and you can just feel it. The temperature has changed. You're constantly defending yourself against a reputation that was built in conversations you were never even invited to. How can you argue against a story you can't even see?
And this network has all kinds of players. You've got the true believers who actually buy the boss's narrative, the career climbers who know which way the wind is blowing, even the moral rescuers who come to you acting concerned but are really just gathering information for the boss. But you know who gives the network most of its power? The silent majority. The people who just see what's happening and quietly back away.
And this is the final, most brilliant and brutal part of the whole system. They don't need you to mess up. They just need you to react. If you defend yourself, you're defensive. If you get frustrated, you're unstable. If you pull back and get quiet, you're cold and uncooperative. Every single natural human reaction becomes more fuel for their fire, more proof that the story they wrote about you was right all along.
So, what on earth can you do when you're trapped inside this invisible machine? Well, the first step, and honestly the most powerful one, is to simply see it. To see it for what it truly is.
You have to stop blaming yourself. You are not going crazy. You're not incompetent. You are navigating a well-designed system. The moment you reframe this from being about a personal failing to a structural problem, you start to take your power back. Okay, so once you see the system, you have to start translating what's happening. Your memory of an event is just your word against theirs. It's testimony. But a dated log of events, emails you save, screenshots you take, notes from a weird conversation, that's not testimony anymore. That's evidence. It makes the invisible pattern visible to anyone on the outside.
And this is absolutely crucial. Remember this. The point of documenting everything isn't necessarily to stop it in the moment. The point is to stop them from changing the story later. Every single thing you document is a sentence in your story that they don't get to erase and rewrite in their own words. Look, seeing the architecture of all this doesn't give you an easy fix, but it gives you something much, much more valuable. It gives you clarity. It moves you from a place of confusion to a place of choice. Because once you stop playing their game blindly, you can start making your own moves deliberately.